Hey, let's talk about the number e. Yes, it is a number. E is kind of a special number. It is the number, the decimal approximation is 2.71828128128459. And that number keeps going and going and going and going and going and never repeats, which kind of puts it in that same class as the number pi that we're familiar with. So what we consider here, we always know that the number e is irrational. Okay, which remember means that it can't be written as a ratio. It doesn't repeat. It doesn't terminate. It just goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. And again, it's in that same class kind of as pi. This number, the number e, is irrational. It's called the natural base. Okay? Just like pi, this number kind of naturally occurs within some formulas and calculations. It also is sometimes referred to as Euler's number. Okay. Leonard Euler was the guy who developed this thing, or kind of did a lot of research on it, kind of showed that it is irrational. So they kind of named it after him as well. But this idea of e being a number is what we need to contemplate here, and we're going to be using this within one of our upcoming formulas. So e is a number, like I said, and you can add stuff to it. And we either get the approximate numbers in exact form. E plus 1 is just going to be e plus 1, but then we can do the approximate here, and that would just be to add 1. So 2.7182 becomes 3.7182. We can times numbers with e, like e times 2 or 2 times e. It's just going to give you 2e in exact form, which then again we can plug into the calculator. And on the calculator, it does have the little e button on here. It's right above the ln button, and there's a relationship between those two things that we'll talk about later. But to get to the e, you just have to type in second and then ln, and then it always asks you to put an exponent in there. It is called the natural base. It's almost always used as a base to some power. So that's why if you just want e, you just type it in as 2.718. There's e is somewhere else in here where you don't have to use the exponent too, but this one's on the front cover there, so use it. And then 2e. And then again, if you just want e, you just raise it to the first power, and we'll get twice as much as e there. So it's 5.44. All right, so we can take the square root of e. You can do whatever you want with e. Just how you can give the exact values. You can't really add stuff to them. You kind of not like terms in a way. Times them in exact form. We just kind of treat them like a variable when you're working an exact form number. But then we can always get to that decimal if we need to plug it in. So for right now, know that this little e is a number. It's gonna be used here as the base of one of our compounding interest formulas. That's it for now.